Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video is going to be a new March Musings video. So I have a couple March Musing videos in this little series that I'm doing that was inspired from other channels such as Mae Beauty and Niki Murphy. I'll have both their channels listed down below. But just talking over some topics that can arise in the beauty community or the beauty industry. I'll link my other videos down below as well. And today's video, I'm not exactly 100% sure what I'm going to be calling it. But basically I kind of wanted to talk about brands and just some questions that pop into my mind when I think about brands in the beauty industry, and also the relationship between brands and beauty influencers or beauty bloggers, or really just like the land of YouTube. It'll make more sense as I start to get into it, but that's kind of where the focus of today's video is going to be. So I can tend to get chatty in these videos, so why don't we just go ahead and get started. Alrighty, so what I'm talking about is there are so many times where I have honestly wondered, do brands watch YouTube? And I feel like that might be a really weird question, but it's something that I've truly thought about before. Like, do brands have anyone working with them on staff that watch YouTube videos, that listen to what beauty bloggers and others in the beauty community are saying? And when I first think of that, I'm like, no, that's so stupid. Like, no, they don't have someone watching YouTube videos. That's ridiculous. And then I'm like, that's really not that ridiculous, actually. I mean, a lot of companies have an entire social media department. They have people who run their Twitter accounts and their Instagram accounts, who post for them, who comment back on them, you know, things like that, who are watching for the hashtags and the mentions to come in. There's a lot of different companies from the beauty industry and beyond that have that in place. So I'm like, well, no, that's not that outlandish of a question, right, Samantha? But sometimes I really do wonder, because I feel like I watch a lot of different videos. I watch a lot of different style of channels, a lot of different, like, you know, makeup vibes across other people. I watch people similar to myself. I watch people completely different from myself. And I listen to what everyone is saying. And especially when it comes to new makeup launches, there's just so many times where I sit and wonder, like, do brands bother to watch these videos and listen to them? Because they are getting, in my opinion, they're getting really good feedback from their consumers. But I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like it's not being heard. I feel like brands are not taking beauty bloggers seriously sometimes, and I feel like it's kind of strange. And I don't want to say, like, my problem when I was thinking about making this video, I was like, I don't want to make it seem like what anybody on YouTube says goes. A brand should take that and absolutely run with it. Because no, that wouldn't make any sense, and especially because everybody has a different opinion on things. Everybody thinks, you know, something different should be released. But a lot of times, there's a fairly general consensus, you know, a particular mood that the beauty community can be in, and not just for the beauty bloggers who are making the videos, but if you read the comment sections, a lot of people who, you know, are not a blogger, who don't have a YouTube channel, but they enjoy watching the videos and they are a makeup consumer, they are leaving really insightful comments of, you know, I wish we would see this in the beauty industry. I wish something like this would be released. And I think one of the things that really got me thinking, because I've had this question in my mind for a while. I've been doing my Will I Buy It series for well over a year now. I can't think of exactly when I started it, but it's been well over a year, where every single week I talk about new makeup launches. A lot of other channels do videos similar to this as well. A lot of people do them on a weekly basis as well, where we're sitting down and we talk, you know, pretty in depth about new releases and how they make us feel, and, you know, what we think about them and all of that. And I just feel like those could be very helpful to so many different companies out there. But I think what really got me like, you should make that video, because that's a good question, is when Tarte came out with their, I think it was called the Icy Bench palette, their little April Fool's Day thing that Tarte did, where they showed that they were releasing this palette. If I can find the photo, I'll insert it on the screen. And then it came out that it was an April Fool's joke, and people were like, I'm sorry, what? Because in so many videos, you hear people say, this is the palette that we would love to see. How many videos about new makeup launches do you hear people say, we're getting the same thing, we're getting the same colors, we're getting the same palette, it's the same, it's the same, it's the same. And so many people, myself and others included, are saying, I would love to see a palette like this. I would love to see a palette with this color. I would love to see a palette with this theme. And then Tarte puts out something like that, and people are like giving Tarte a round of applause. They're so excited. They're like, okay, Tarte, come on, yes, bring out that palette. And then Tarte's like, no, we're just kidding, April Fools. I felt, honestly, as being a part of the beauty community, I honestly felt like that was kind of a slap in the face, because it's like, that's what people are saying they want. This is the palette we want. And then you say it's an April Fool's joke? I just want it to be like, Tarte, you are so out of touch with what is happening right now, and I honestly feel like a lot of other brands kind of fall into that. I haven't talked about this one yet, I don't believe, in a Will I Buy It video, but LORAC is coming out with their Mega Pro 4, and people are like, what are you doing? We already have that palette. We have that palette. And then the Soft Glam release, like, we have this palette. What are you guys doing? And it's just so fascinating to me. And I try to remember with something like LORAC that palette wasn't just, you know, conceived last week. Like, this has probably been in the works for a while. You know, I'm not behind the scenes in a makeup brand or in the lab or anything like that, but typically it takes a long time to be able to launch a makeup product, and I understand that. But at the same time, I'm like, I just truly wonder if brands are just too out of touch with what consumers are wanting, and why they don't take advantage of something like social media such as YouTube to get the feedback on it. What's mind-boggling to me is that there are so many fantastic YouTubers that are so artistic and have such a wonderful design mind that they do videos where they are redesigning palettes, and they are gorgeous palettes. I mean, I'm thinking about like Elle S and Georgia Harris. I've seen Angelica do this. I think Angelica did something with this Tarte palette as well. Like, she kind of made her own palette. I mean, there are so many channels out there that do that I'm like, how come a brand hasn't snapped these people up and been like, hey, would you like to come on our design team? Can we hire you? Because they are so good at doing these different things. I don't know. I just get a little bit befuddled sometimes. And I don't want to make this video too long or too rambly, because really that's like the main thing that I'm trying to say here, but it just truly makes me wonder, and I just would like to know anybody's feedback of what you think of why brands don't seem to be utilizing what they could when it comes to the beauty community, when it comes to the industry, when it comes with what consumers want. Because to me, it's really easy to watch a video and to see what that person's saying, to look at the comment section and be like, right now, this is the trend that we're over, this is the trend that we want. But very rarely brands are giving that to us, or we only have a couple of brands that are giving it to us. And I just think, why is that? Why would that be? You know, maybe it's the timing thing. Maybe it's because, you know, obviously products take a long time to go from a design idea to, you know, an actual concept, to the actual product, to the lab. I mean, it definitely could be that. But I don't know. I just kind of wonder. I just feel like if I had my own makeup brand, which I have zero plans to do that, but I feel like this is such a good space to see what people who are going to buy the makeup products, to see what they want. And again, don't get me wrong, I don't think brands should go off of what one person says and runs with that and, you know, whatnot. But I don't know. It just is something that I've been curious about, and I would like to get your guys' feedback. But I think once the Tarte April Fool's thing came out, people were just very confused. I also thought it was a very strange April Fool's joke to say you're coming out with a palette. Like, I saw Huda Beauty came out with on April Fool's Day that she was going to be releasing Sand. And like, she had a promo of like her rolling around in the sand, and it was like, Sand by Huda Beauty, coming April 1st. And people are like, oh my gosh, you really expect me to buy Sand? And then other people are like, it's coming out on April Fool's Day. Obviously, it's a joke. Like, that's a joke. You're releasing Sand. A makeup company releasing an eyeshadow palette, I'm not really sure what the joke was supposed to be there, but especially when it was a palette that got so many people excited. And honestly, I thought once it came out and people were like, Tarte, that wasn't a funny joke, what are you doing? We actually want this eyeshadow palette. I thought, boom, that palette's gonna be out. As of right now, we still don't have the palette, and it's the end of April. Like, again, I'm sure it would actually take time, but if you're gonna put something out there like that, I mean, I would be shocked that you couldn't somehow distribute that or get it ready to go soon. But that's kind of like my main point of this video. It's just kind of that, and just thinking about things when it comes to brands and YouTube and the industry and all of that. And then one other thing that I feel like maybe kind of went along with this video is when it comes to actual like beauty bloggers and their relationships with brands as well. Because I feel like one thing that I see, and I see a lot of, is people being very vocal about being frustrated that you only see the same bloggers on you know, something like brand trips or even just like launch parties or things like that, or even something such as like getting a PR, people are complaining that, you know, it's the same bloggers, it's the same huge bloggers, it's the same bloggers that a lot of people say are kind of out of touch with, you know, the people who follow them now that they've, you know, got their success and the fame and the money and all of that. I mean, how often do you hear people say, you know, I just can't follow so-and-so anymore because, you know, she's just on a different level, I can't relate to it anymore, and things like that. And I feel like I see those comments a lot. And again, this isn't a topic that I want to like talk too much about because it's kind of weird for me since I am a blogger at the same time, and I don't want it to come off as like, I need this, I want that, because that's not what I'm trying to do. But you see those comments a lot. I see those comments a lot. I'm sure you see those comments a lot. When Pure Cosmetics invited Raw Beauty Kristi and her husband on a recent PR trip that they did, I got excited about that. Raw Beauty Kristi, I mean, she now has, I'm sure it's over 300,000 subscribers. She kind of shot up very quickly. But still, 300,000 is still kind of a smaller number compared to the 1 million, the 2 million, the 5 million, the 8 million that you see some other bloggers have that are consistently going on these brand trips and having these amazing opportunities. So when I saw Raw Beauty Kristi going with Pure, I was so excited, and I was like, way to go, Pure. Pure's been one of my favorite brands since back in my college days. I talk about Pure a lot on my channel, and I have to say, I was like, way to go, Pure. I'm so excited to see someone new on your brand trip, to see someone who's, you know, kind of like an up-and-coming YouTuber. I thought that was really freaking cool, and I would love to see more brands do that. And I kind of would like to know, like, your thought as well, because again, this is something that I feel like we see a lot. I even see it in the Instagram comments. The same people going on the brand trip, the same people going on the brand trip, and we're getting the same vlogs, we're getting the same, you know, speeches in all of these different videos. And again, this is where I'm like, it's kind of uncomfortable to talk about this since I am a blogger, but I see those comments and I understand what people are saying, because again, I just go back to seeing Kristi on that Pure trip and just thinking like, nice, way to go, Pure. I wish more brands were like you, because clearly, even if people are a smaller influencer, a smaller blogger, I think that we still have a lot of influence. I see a lot of people saying in my comments like, you know, oh, I bought this because of you. I bought this because you love it. You know, and even with my friends, I read through their comments, you know, you love this palette so much. I bought it because of you. I bought the skincare item because of you. And I think just because we don't have in the 1 millions and things like that, I do still believe that smaller bloggers have a lot of influence. And also at the same time, I genuinely do believe that we are fairly relatable. And I think that's why a lot of people are going to these kind of micro bloggers or smaller bloggers, because I'm just an author sitting in my home office in Iowa with my dog next to me on my lap, you know? I don't have a studio, I don't have someone behind the camera, I don't have someone doing my editing for me, and not that any of that is bad or wrong or something that I don't aspire to have one day. I'm just a regular girl who likes to talk about makeup, and I see a lot of other channels my size, smaller than me, bigger than me, that a lot of people relate to our content and to our videos. And I truly believe if more brands would be giving micro bloggers a chance and smaller bloggers a chance, I think other people would be pretty excited about that and be excited to see some fresh faces. And even when it comes to just giving a PR box, I thought CoverGirl was freaking amazing. I mean, CoverGirl is a very big brand. Yes, they are a drugstore brand, but they are a brand that is very established, that it's been around for a very long time. And they recently sent out huge PR boxes. To me, it definitely seemed like they were sending them to kind of the micro influencers. And I thought that was really cool, because how many CoverGirl videos have you now seen? When I did a top 5, bottom 5 recently, I think I had 3 CoverGirl products in there, because now I have all these CoverGirl products to try, and I'm going to put that in my videos, and I'm going to be reviewing them. And same as so many other people, that, you know, it doesn't matter that we don't have 1 million subscribers, we're still talking about products, and we're probably still going to sell a product or two on behalf of that brand, because they sent us so many products to be able to review and recommend on our channel. So I thought that was really cool when CoverGirl did that. I was one that received the box and was incredibly overwhelmed. I saw a lot of my friends getting the box, and I thought that was amazing. Urban Decay is another brand that I feel like is focusing on micro influencers. So again, myself and a lot of my friends here on YouTube that are around, you know, the same channel number and all of that as me, we received the Back Talk palette, you know, we received the lip glosses and things like that, and I think that's really cool. So that's kind of just what I wanted to talk about today. I didn't want to make this a too long or too rambly of a video, even though I'm sure it probably still is, but those are just kind of like my thoughts when it comes to beauty brands and then beauty bloggers, the beauty community, the beauty industry. I just had a couple things that I wanted to throw out there because in these March Musings videos, I really like to get your feedback. So I would love to know some of your thoughts on either one of those topics down below. I enjoy having these kind of discussions in these March Musings videos. So if you have any thoughts or feedback, or, you know, maybe you think completely differently than me, you know, as long as you are nice about it, I definitely do not mind having a discussion with someone who has a different thought process than me, because I feel like I always come out of my March Musings videos having like a broader understanding of certain topics that I'm talking about as well. So I appreciate any feedback that you would want to leave down below. But other than that, that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy it and you enjoyed the March Musings videos, I hope that you'll give this one a thumbs up. I hope that you'll also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll catch you guys in tomorrow's video.